my spirit guide.
That is an amazing response for a number of reasons, and let me tell you why. Now, for those of you that have followed the channel for a long time, you may remember. So 323 videos ago, I started this journey as far as documenting what was going on and trying to speak to the spirits. Here we go with the shivers, and I have not had shivers for like 2 weeks now. Okay, in this scenario where Robin is watching me at the fire, so if you're new to the channel, what I'm doing here is I've filmed us watching the fire, so you get the crackling noises of the fire. Robin's holding in her hand a little speaker off of her phone that's running an app called HackShack. So it's going do 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 do. It's making the noise, right? And every once in a while you get voices from that. But then I'm running artificial intelligence on top of this film, removing all of the sound that is not human speech. And then what that artificial intelligence does is it leaves only the human speech behind. Yet words and sentences come through when nobody's speaking. And they answer questions. This is the spirits. This is my method. This is how we're doing this. This is number 6 on Messages by the Fire. But back to that last message that Robin just got. Listen to it again. Put a headset on if you have to, because it's quite clear. I clearly hear them say, St. Michael is your guide. That is amazing, because 323 videos ago when I started this, I started with that HackShack app. I wasn't even recording it. I was doing it for myself. And I asked it, well, who's my guide? 3 times in a row it came through, and it said, not using my method, but using that little app, the HackShack app, it said St. Michael. That's when I went, oh, I've got to film this. This thing's answered me 3 times. So now we're talking like 2.5 years later, Robin asks, and I had no idea what she was going to ask, and it says the same thing to her. This cannot be a coincidence. And because of that message I received 2.5 years ago when I started this, every time I do my opening prayer, I always open up huge shivers going right down like, wow, whoosh, both arms, hair standing on end, goose pimples. I always open my prayer of protection by saying, St. Michael and your angels, please watch over me, protect me. And then I go from there and I ask them to keep an envelope around me and keep the evil out and the negativity away, and that I only want to talk to good and helpful spirits that want to come through and further the communication experiment that I'm about to do. So, super interesting to hear that response. We're getting near the end of the footage that I shot, so I don't know how many more of these videos there will be, but let's keep plugging along and see what other messages we get. This interests me to no end.
Do I have any angels watching over me?
Okay, I mean, come on. I don't want to talk through this whole thing, but I have to put my thoughts in here because I'm seeing this for the first time right now as I'm editing this. This we filmed, over 2 months ago now. I had no idea what she asked while I was over at the fire. Of course, I had no idea what the responses would be, but they said to her, your guide is St. Michael, and then she says right after that, do I have any angels watching over me? Like, here we go with the shivers again. Did she somehow subliminally pick up on what they told her about St. Michael? Or, like, how did she know? Like, what's the connection here? She asked about who her guide was. They mentioned an angel, and then she asked about angels. There has to be some connection here. And I've proven, hundreds of times doing this, that when they say something, I can pick up on it in my head without hearing it using this divining method with the artificial intelligence and all that. Like, subliminally, they can talk to us. I've shown that in numerous videos, so I think that's what's going on here. Now, I'm going to show you 2 answers when she asked about the angels. The first one's a little choppy, but I'll put on the screen what I'm hearing, and it makes sense for the reasons I already told you about my opening prayer. and then they say a second, they add to it after that, which is a little bit more clear. So again, super interesting.
Can you keep the sandflies from eating my fingers? Is this fire going to burn till 6 a.m.? Because I have to work in the morning.
Okay, so it's me again interrupting once more, but I just find this so fascinating because think of this. Think of the big picture of this. She's sitting there talking away. I don't even know if she truly believes in it. You know, are there guides over me, angels, da da da. Can you make it so the sandflies don't bite my fingers? And in the background, even though she can't hear it, they're like, yeah, I can do that. They're helping her. Then she's like, I got to work in the morning, and, Grant's out here at this damn fire. Is this thing going to burn all night? And they're like, then you hear a woman's voice say, like, make it go down. And then a guy says, sure. Like, these spirits that are around us that I've proven through these hundreds of sessions, they're helping us. We ask for simple little things. They are doing their best to help us. And this film, this footage that I just showed you, at least their voices, oh my goodness, guys. I seriously have not had, like, whoosh, another huge wave. I have not had this for like 2 weeks. You guys know, if you've watched this forever, they're just confirming, they're just trying to get this message out there, I guess, to you, that if you need something, you talk to your team, they're going to try and help you. I guarantee it. I'm not making this stuff up. This is, I'm being guided to put this on film for you. Did it say anything?
Not one thing.
Are you going to talk to us, spirits? Talk some more to us? What about old Andy that I used to work for? Doing the minnows and work at the bait shop. Does he want to say hello? Andy, how are you doing? Are you better now? Healthier? Andy, where did you take me that one time when we stopped for something? You showed me the place where they made a specialty where we stopped.
So I have some real funny stories about Andy. He was an older gentleman when I kind of knew him all my life. Like, he lived out here and he had some businesses and that. But I didn't go to work for him till I was like mid-30s or whatever. He had all kinds of entrepreneurial stuff going on. He used to cut wood in the bush with the young crews of guys there, and he would teach them all. And he had a bait shop in town that his brother Fern ran. And he had a minnow barn out here, which is about 30 minutes from town. And cement wells where he had minnows in there. And what I did, I went to work for him, was I would have to clean those out, and I would haul minnows in the back of the van. He had an old van that hardly ran, and it would quit, and you'd have to chug along on her and learn how to drive it properly just to get her going there. And I'd take the minnows into town, and I'd do a shift or two, like I'd do a shift at the bait shop. But I worked at the bait shop. It was part-time, but this was back in 2008 or so. I was making minimum wage, just, passing time. But that's when I went to work for Andy. Now, a funny story about Andy, which I don't believe I mentioned at this session at the fire, but I'm just going to share it anyways, because why not? He's the kind of guy, I went over to his house to have an interview. My aunt said, well, Andy's looking for some help there. I went over there. And I go in, and he was a big man. I was pushing 400 pounds, I would say. And his wife was skinny as a rail, Marilyn, very nice woman, very super nice people. But he was in his tighty whities, his underwear, and he sat there and did the whole interview. Yeah, I'm getting shivers. He did the whole interview. Hey, Grant, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Da da da. In his underwear. And I didn't say anything. I guess it was would have been the fall, so they had the fire going. I remember he used to yell, Marilyn, Marilyn. And she'd go, and can you put some wood in that fire? And she'd go downstairs and keep the fire going, and while he sat upstairs. Funny guy. Anyways, he took me, when we had to go get these minnows, he'd buy them from different places, and so we'd hit the road, and we'd go for a half a day driving, and he'd say, well, now I'm going up here, and I need you to do a run up by Englehart, New Liskeard, and he took me up there to show me the route. And on the route was a place, I can't remember, this is over 10 years ago. I don't remember the name of the place. I just remember he liked to stop there to get cheese curds. I'm not a big fan of cheese curds, but he wanted to show me. He really enjoyed it. He said, I stop every time I go by here. So, I hear cheese factory in this response.
What did we stop for?
Thank you very much for watching, folks. Please press like, press subscribe, and if you'd like to donate like these fine folks have in the list here, there is a link at the top of my YouTube page in the bottom right-hand corner, or if you go into the description of every video, there's a link there as well for donations. I don't know if you guys know how much I appreciate your support, and about 10 of these people in the list here have donated on a monthly basis. You guys have really helped me a lot. I know times are really tough right now, and I super appreciate your support. And if you'd like to donate and you haven't, then please do so. You guys are what keep me driving forward and doing this research. So thank you very much. Love, peace, joy, and adventure to all of you. We'll catch you all in the next video.